like waiting for SpaceX to launch.
We need a countdown.
Oh, no. Well, hello there. How is everybody doing? Yeah, we're going to learn about smartphones with Geeks On Tour. And we want you to download the handout there. Let's see.
There is a link in the description of the video, but also you can just go to your browser and type in bit.ly/buttonshow195, and that will bring up a PDF, which we are going to be referring to in this show.
Okay, Chris, you got a quick tip there?
I do.
Go right
and
ahead.
It's about searching within a web page. You may know that Control F is how you search within a web page on a computer. But what about on phones, on mobile devices?
You ready for this?
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks On Tour, and this quick tip is about finding something that is within a web page. You may know on a computer that you do a Control F to find content within a web page, but how do you do that on a phone? First, I want to show you on a computer so that you make sure you know what I'm talking about. So here we are at geeksontour.com, and if you click on our YouTube show, this page is a long page. It lists every YouTube show episode that we've done over the last 6 years, and there's a bit of a description with each one. Let's say you're looking for the show that we did about using your phone in an emergency, and you're scrolling and scrolling, you can't find it. What you do is on your keyboard, Control F. That opens up a search box, and you can type emergency, and it searches not the whole web, but just this page. And there we go. It was episode 163 that talked about how to use your phone in case of an emergency. So now, how do we do that on a phone? First, I'll use an Android phone and the Chrome browser. So I open up the Chrome browser, and I go to geeksontour.com. Now I need to go to that page, so under the menu and the YouTube show. And here's that same page with all 140, 90, whatever episodes. I want to search for emergency. 3-dot menu, find in page, and type emergency. And it finds episode 163. Now how about on an iPhone with the Safari browser? So Safari, geeksontour.com, menu, YouTube show. Now in here you tap the share button, or it's kind of an action button, the square with the up arrow in it. and scroll down and you will see Find on Page. And Emergency. I only had to type EMERG and it found episode number 163. I could tap the link and play it. And that's how you search within a page on phones.
Cool.
So I use that all the time. So I figured and I think we've covered it before. I know we have, but I figured it bears repeating. So now we're ready for this.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Jim, and here with my wife Chris, we're Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Apple iPhone or your Android tablet, and how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, and we think the best way to learn is on a regular basis in bite-sized pieces. So we come up with different ideas of things to teach, and we put on this YouTube show. We try to keep it at a relatively beginner's level, but we do get into some advanced topics once in a while in this What Does This Button Do show. And all of our content is collected on our website, which is kind of what this whole episode is about. We're going to give you a tour of our website and things to learn about smartphones.
Cool. All right, Chris, now where are we?
Well, I almost took out this slide because we don't go anywhere anymore.
I'm sorry.
We are still self-isolating. We are in Florida, so it's a hot spot for this COVID-19 pandemic. But you are making some good use of the time. Take a look at that studio that Jim has built.
Yeah, I have this. I've redone my office, and I have my studio here, and things are changing, and it's just a lot of fun, and I have it set up pretty well, but I'm still a little nervous whenever we go live because there's a lot going on here. It's fun though, isn't it, Michael?
So many pieces. I see lots of people have joined us.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I hope all of our premium members who have joined us here will stick around and come backstage after the show. We'll have one of our normal backstage informal conversations after the show. You should have gotten a link in an email if you are a premium member. If not, you can go to our website and log in on the member login page and find it there. And I am just so excited. Speaking of backstage passes, next week,
whoa,
we're going to have one of my favorite people. David Lieb is the product director for Google Photos at Google. And he has agreed to come in to meet with our Geeks on Tour members in a members-only Backstage Pass meeting on Zoom next Sunday. So be on the lookout for that link if you are a member. He really does like hearing people's questions.
That should be really a lot of fun.
And he's a nice guy, too. He's just such a nice guy.
You learn how to spell smartphones yet?
Uh-oh.
Well, let's get into it anyway. What do you think?
Well, but we haven't said hi to our... if something happened with that slide. We have quite a bit of people out there. Say hi and thank you to Michael for the super chat. Yeah. Hi to
Richard, Catherine, Michael, Julie, Richard, Warren. Look at all of our friends out there. And, Bob, Costisha, Angie, Hatchet.
Any smartphone is smarter than you? I doubt that. But that's right. You are an expert in lots of areas, Andrew, but I guess it's all computer, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just hardly even use a computer anymore.
Right. And Bill and Karen, Sheila, David, I hope Richard, Laverne. Did I miss anyone? Sheila? Cool. Anyway.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. And this, as I say, is going to be mostly about our website today because, we've been at this for a long time.
Yeah, we have.
We've been writing articles, making videos. We've been doing this show for 6 years now.
Really, just over 6 years, right?
And everything is on our website, so good luck finding it, right? There is a lot there. So kind of like going through the door of a big library, you need an orientation. So that's what we're going to do. And the handout, if you download the handout, the bit.ly/button show 195.
I just wrote it down.
Yeah.
It's in the
in the description and in the chat.
Yeah, okay.
It's 2 pages. So one page is the tour of our website. It explains what's there and what is free and public, what is for members only, and how to find things. Then the second page is what I call a smartphone skills checklist. Now, this isn't anything official. This is a checklist that I've put together because I've taught a lot of people how to use their smartphones. And I know when I meet up with somebody, if they know everything on this checklist, I figure they're pretty savvy with their smartphone. So these are just the things that I think make you a good smartphone user. And there's a reference to how to learn it on our website.
Cool.
So that's what we're going to do. We're first going to go through the website, then we're going to actually use a few things on that skills checklist. So how to learn from our website. There is the link again to get this handout. It's also, guess what? On our website.
Is that for members only?
No, this is not for members only, this handout.
Okay, somebody says they can't download the handout. Do you have to be a member?
No, you do not. Okay, so maybe let me demonstrate that because it's a Dropbox file and it makes it look like you have to belong to Dropbox, but you don't. So let me just show my screen. If I go to bit.ly/button show 195, then you should see they're probably seeing sign in or sign up, but no, just click this download and you can direct download it to your computer, or you can, if you do have a Dropbox account, you can save it to your Dropbox, or you can just look at it here if you don't want to download it and print it or something. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So right on our website, there's a menu. The menu right under the banner. It starts with home, YouTube show, blogs, news, tutorials, and Q&A. So all of our content is pretty much under those 4 highlighted buttons here. The YouTube show, blogs and news, tutorials, and Q&A. The YouTube show is completely public. It's these shows. It's on YouTube and we list them publicly. But if you are a premium member, you do get show notes and you'll see those today. But the YouTube shows are public, the notes are for members only. Under blogs and news, that is everything under that menu is public. The tutorials are the short video tutorials, and they are mostly for members only. Some of them are free, and I don't have any notation as to which ones are and aren't, but most of them are for members only. And the Q&A is a page where all our members can ask a question, but anybody can read the questions and answers. So here we go for each one. YouTube shows. We designate those with an S to separate them from our tutorial videos, which we say a V. There are 194 episodes.
195 now.
This will be 195, but this isn't on the page yet.
Okay.
So every episode is listed on this page, the one that says YouTube show. And there's S001 to S194. Now, they just have the numbers here, but when I refer to them later, I'll be referring to them with the S. And this is where, just know that anybody can watch the video. The show notes are for members only. So that's the first menu item, YouTube shows. The second menu item is mostly newsletters. So if you click on blogs and news and you click on newsletters, you'll see a listing of all of our newsletters every month back to 2007. So there's a lot there. Now the articles, so every newsletter has at least 3 articles in it. Each article is listed, is a separate page on our website under articles. And this is where using that Control F is really good. Let me just switch over for just a second here and show you. So if I go to geeksontour.com, I just point to blogs and news and click on all articles. It goes on and on and on and on. So if you are looking for something on this page that has to do with scanning, what would you do? Control F, right? Control F, and then just type scan, and it says there's 2 results. So here's a members only Zoom meeting about scanning photos, and then you go to the next one using Evernote as a document scanner. And these are just articles. The articles are available for anybody in the public. Do pay attention to the dates. You know, I say there's both pro and con for us having been doing this for so long. The pro is that there's a lot of information here. The con is that some of it is old. So you just have to pay attention to the date. And if there is something in the article that doesn't match what you're seeing on the screen, it's probably because it's old.
And these things change pretty regularly. So
you've noticed that.
Yeah.
Huh?
But a lot of times the concepts that are taught in those videos are still valid, but some things may have moved around in the user interface, or some things may have changed names. And if it's completely out of date and we haven't noticed it, go ahead and leave a message to us in the chat, because it's tough keeping up with all of this stuff, and you have the way to do it.
Okay, and back to here. So that's newsletters and articles, free to the public. Now, tutorial videos, these are mostly for members only, and there's 644 of them. So the tutorial videos are the short, single topic, as opposed to these YouTube shows, which go on for 45 minutes. Each video starts with 2 letters that indicates what the topic is. So GP for Google Photos, BL for Blogger, GM for Google Maps, and SM for smartphones, and most videos are members only. And I want to show you that. I am pretty proud of this. So it's under tutorials and all videos. And this is where there are 644. And so this page is our archive. They're all here.
43 and 44 aren't up
there
there
yet. Yeah.
Make a note.
Make a note. And so, what do you think? Which are the newer videos? The ones with the smaller numbers or the ones with the bigger numbers?
I'll go with the bigger numbers.
Yeah, the bigger numbers are the newer ones. But I can go all the way back to number 1. And now, and I threatened to take these off of the website once, but I had some people who teach beginners computers, and they said they still use these just to teach the concepts of using the mouse and arranging your desktop on a Windows computer, etc., etc. So they are all still there. Now, also under tutorials, you'll see learning guides and online courses. Those are 2 areas that we're currently working on. So there's yeah. I do want to have nice, cohesive courses with the videos in them, and stay tuned. We have a few, but there's going to be a lot more. I've actually hired help. Okay. So that was the tutorial videos, is on the tutorials menu, all videos. Then Q&A. This is a forum, but unlike most forums, we, either Jim or I, promise to respond to any question left in these forums. So it is not, I do most of it, yeah. But every once in a while, it's when I say, hey, Jim, this is yours. But we take a question in these forums as a personal question to us. Other members can respond and join in the conversation, but we promise to respond. So this is where you ask us questions if you are a premium member. But anybody can view the Q&As here. And we highlight a few of them
Every month in our newsletter.
In the newsletter, yeah. So there's really good stuff in the forums, you know. Check it out. Then, last but not least, is the search box. If you say, well, I don't care whether it's a video or a show or an article, I just want to see if there's anything in the Geeks On Tour website for what I want. So let me give examples here. So at the top right of every web page on our website, there is a search. So, yeah, let's say you're thinking about using the Road Trippers app. Just since it's already on the list here, I'm going to search for Road Trippers. And you click search. And here's an article, places we would have missed without Road Trippers. And another article, and trip planning that has Road Trippers, RV Parky, etc., etc. And there's a newsletter. So all sorts of stuff on Road Trippers here. Maybe too much, which is the problem with just doing a search of the whole website. Okay, let's try another one. In this search, you can type more. So let's say organizing. I lost it. Organize photos. Better to select from the list than to trust my typing. So there's a 183. That was a show. So whenever you see the word episode, you know it's one of our shows. Same thing, yeah, episode. So that's a show. Organize your photos. Start today. Notice this is 2015. So I'm probably talking about Picasa here, because Google Photos didn't come out until middle of 2015. But you get the idea. You can search for anything in using the search box, and it'll show you all over our website.
But just our website, right?
Just our website. Yeah, that is just our website. Whereas the Control F and the other ways of doing it on the phone is just one page.
Okay.
How we doing? We have any questions over here?
Let's see. Well, we have a thank you, Jolyn, and thank you, Bob.
Wow.
Aren't you nice?
Yeah.
Lynn says, saw when we came to Chicago and did a presentation for the Computer Society, Chicago Computer Society. We've done a few of them out there for the computer people in Chicago area.
That was
and
when
Ohio.
we used to be able
We
to
used
travel.
to travel. Remember that? Oh, man. Too bad.
Okay.
Cool stuff. Thank you.
Oh, and I see somebody. Didn't I see somebody asks, what is the cost? Yeah, what is the cost annually? I should show you how to join if you want to, huh? So on our website, right on the home, under, so yeah, become a member. So become a member, you click there, and it's $58 yearly. So that's less than $5 a month, you know? But that's fine. We love doing our stuff for free, too. But thank you so much to the people that do give us money.
Yes.
That's how he gets to build all this fancy studio here.
That's right. And now a word from our sponsor. We don't have a sponsor. Just you guys.
Just you guys. We are sponsored by our premium members. Thank you very much. All right, so you ready to get into some specifics on the smartphone skills checklist? I'm going to start with the very first section there. Know your device. Find your account ID. It says S137. So what does that mean? What's the S stand for? The S stands for a show. 137. So if I go to the website, YouTube show, and I find 137.
Wow. It's
So
way on down there.
It's a ways back, yeah.
There it is.
There, and then you look here for a link. You click the link. And here is where anybody can watch the whole show. It's like 45 minutes. If you are a member, you get these show notes, and we can find just the place where it talks about finding your Apple ID. So these show notes are not just a list of what's in it. They are detailed show notes.
Yeah, Chris spends a lot of time on these things. It's
And here are timestamps. So I say, all right, here's what I want. Locate Apple ID in settings. And I click on the timestamp, and it takes me to the video at that spot. Here, and they are set up with somebody else's account, our imaginary friend,
Alan.
So we have an imaginary friend that has a Google account and an Apple account under Got Guest. So just FYI, that's what you're not going to be seeing my account and my stuff.
And that's a good thing.
So what do I mean? In an iPhone, so
There it is.
that look okay.
Yeah.
All right. In an iPhone, I'm talking about your Apple ID. How do you find out what Apple ID is associated with this phone? It's really quite easy. Right in settings, at the top, here is the name of the person who owns this phone, Alan. And if you tap it, you'll see that his Apple ID is gotguest1 at iCloud.com. All right. So you need to know that. It's very important. It's attached to your app store. If you don't know your app, okay. So that show does go on, and demonstrate on the Android as well. We always cover both Apple and Android in our shows. So let's look at the next skill on the checklist that I've chosen, and that is view data usage statistics. Now there is a show, S29. So how old is that show?
It's pretty old.
29 would be like over 5 years ago. So let's see. A video, also, whenever you see a video, it means it's to the point, just a short video on that topic. However, the video is most likely for members only. So if you're not a member, stick to the shows. I'm going to show you then video 375 about viewing usage statistics. And we're looking for 375.
Hi, I'm Jim.
And I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour. We live in a motorhome and travel the country. We depend on our smartphones for our internet connection, and we know a lot of you do too.
Today I want to help you answer the question, why am I using so much data on my cellular plan? I'm going to show you how you can look at your settings to see which apps are using the most data. First on my Apple iPad and then on my Samsung Android phone. Here we go. So on the iPad or on the iPhone, same difference. You tap on Settings. My iPad happens to have a cellular contract. And right there, Cellular Data. And there's some information at the top, but if you scroll down, you'll start seeing all of your apps. And for every app where you have allowed it to use cellular data, that's the green over here, you will see the number that represents the amount of data it is consuming. These are just in alphabetical order, so you have to scroll through the entire list and look at all the numbers. So for example, my biggest user is all the way at the bottom with YouTube, but that's still not only a few hundred megabytes. System services, 1.8 gigabytes is the biggest. I tap on that and you can see some more detail. Now to the Android. Same thing, I'm going to go into Settings by swiping down from the top and tapping on the little gear icon. And there we go, data usage. Tap on that. And it gives you a graph and a few other options, but same thing, if you scroll down, you'll start seeing all your apps. Now, this top one says tethering, meaning I use the most data because I use the phone as a hotspot to tether my other devices to. That makes sense, so that's why I'm using so much. These are sorted with the biggest user on top. That makes it quite convenient, so you'll know right away what your biggest user is. When you scroll all the way down, you'll see all the ones that are using less than 1,000th of a gigabyte. I hope that helps you figure out your data usage.
And if you want to learn more, check out our weekly show, What Does This Button Do? We cover...
Okay. Now, you probably noticed that those phones were a little old, so if you tried to follow along with your phone, your screen would look different, but the same stuff is there, absolutely. So remember, we preach to learn the concepts, and then you can find the specific screens on your device. You have a couple questions that...
Let's see. There was a question about the cost. Well worth the price. On the Mac, the Control F is a Command F.
Right.
So if you're on a Mac or a MacBook, and let's see, somebody else had a question. Is Google Photos second edition still current?
I assume you're referring to my book, The Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos, second edition. Not really. I have promised the 2020 edition to be available by September 1. So, stay tuned there. Actually, probably by next week, we will have a way to pre-order.
Cool.
All right. Next one. Copy and paste. You say, oh, wait a minute, I know how to copy and paste. Well, on a computer, I'm sure, but how about this is something that I look for people to understand how to do on their phones, and that's a V603. So that means it's one of our tutorial videos, and let's go find it. Tutorials, all videos. And you'll notice once I find a video, I click on the little square in the lower right-hand corner to maximize it, so you get the best effect. 603.
Copy and paste on mobile devices. Copy and paste is something people have been doing forever, so matter-of-factly on computers, but it kind of eludes them when it gets to mobile devices. So I just want to make sure everybody knows how. On both Apple and Android mobile devices, it works exactly the same. Isn't that nice? And long press is the key. So you long press until some little markers pop up. You drag them to what you want to see. Then you choose copy. It'll pop up on the screen. Go to the place you want the text and long press and paste. Let me show you how. They say it works exactly the same on iPhone and Android. I'm going to show you on my Android Samsung phone. So what do I want to copy? I'm going to go to a browser and geeksontour.com. So on the first page of Geeks on Tour, we always post this little sticky note as to whether we're going to be live that week. So let's say you want to copy this and send it to a friend. You just long press, and sometimes it takes a couple tries, so you'd have to lift your finger and long press again. It doesn't mean pushing hard, just long press. And these two little markers should pop up. You drag them to select what you want, and then you see this menu has popped up and you copy, and you're done with that part. Then you go to where you want to paste it. So let's say I want to make an email. And in the body of the email, I want to paste it. Once again, long press. And there is paste. And there's everything that you just copied. Now, Twitter and Facebook work slightly different. So I want to show you on Twitter, and just on my profile. Once again, here is the tweet that I just posted about this episode on YouTube. And if you want to copy that, the key is still long press. When I long press, first it just opens the tweet, okay? Then when I long press, it just says copied to clipboard. Hey, Martin, good to know. It just says copy to clipboard, so you don't have to drag markers and make another. The whole tweet has been copied. Once again, I can go to an email and I can long press and paste. So whatever I just copied from Twitter is in there. Now, just to prove that it does work exactly the same on iOS, here is my iPad. And I'll even use Safari, the Apple browser, and go to Geeks on Tour. And see that little sticky note at the top and long press. And I get these little markers. I can drag and select everything I want and copy. And I can even go to the Apple
email program and make an email. And in the body of the email, long press and paste. So that is copy and paste. Long press is the key. Long press on phones is kind of like a right click on a computer.
All right.
Yeah. Watching that video again just reminded me of something that I want to make sure that people know. We say that this is a weekly show, but we don't do it every week.
Not anymore. We used to.
We did. We were gung-ho for the first few years, but now we need a break once in a while. So we don't do it every week. If you want to know whether or not we will be live in the coming week, you just go to our webpage, our website, the home page of our website, and in this little yellow sticky note area, I always try to say what we're doing. So now I don't always do that until like maybe Friday night, but by Friday night or definitely Saturday, you should be able to go here and know whether or not we will be live on the next day. Okay. So we did copy and paste. Now, I don't want to do the screenshot ones. I want to do the scan to document one. So that's S156. So that means a show. And I go to YouTube shows. We're getting a little late, aren't we? And 156.
Right there at the top.
And you click the link. Now this actually would be a good one. If you're interested in scanning, just go ahead and watch this whole show, but I'm not going to. I'm going to scroll down into the notes and find where it's demonstrated on the Android. On Android, I also use the Dropbox app. So video 537 for using Dropbox. This is Crystal from Geeks On Tour, and this tutorial video is about using an Android phone to scan paper documents and make a PDF. Now, sometimes just taking a photo would be good enough, but I really don't want a dedicated app. But I just do it occasionally. I want to use something that I already have. I'm going to use two. I'm going to use Dropbox and I'm going to use Google Drive to scan these two documents. One of them is a single sheet, and I just need this document in my online folder of important papers. This one is a 4-page document that I got in an email, and the sender needed it signed and sent back. So those are the two reasons for scanning. Step one is put the paper on a contrasting background. So I'm putting the paper on black here, and then I'm going to use Dropbox. Dropbox is where we keep most of our important papers. So and what you do is when you get there, you want to add a document. So it's just, you click the plus, and then you have lots of choices as the type of document you can make in Dropbox. I'm going to choose scan document. And now I don't even have to touch anything. Notice how it is giving a blue outline around the document. It is finding the edges. And when it's satisfied that it has the edges, it takes the picture. And there I have, and it is in PDF format.
I'm done. I don't have another page to add, so just tap the arrow. I give it a name and
That's enough on that one. Like I say, I thought that was an especially good, the whole show on that about scanning documents. And just one last thing I'm going to do, and that is to search for Photos Map. So let's say under your photo library, to be able to see photos on a map, I'm going to use the Geeks on Tour feature to just search the whole website. So, photos on map. Google Photos new map feature. So 640, that is a video. But let's say Google Maps for food. Yeah. Let's look at this one. Swipe up to see map. So this, when you search, you get all of these different items from our website. So just browse around. So here is one that just shows on an individual photo in Google Photos. All you have to do is swipe up and you'll see the map of where that photo was taken. And that is an example of using search. And I think we're done. Yeah. Here's that slide that was supposed to be at the beginning.
Well, great. I don't see any new questions, so I think we can just get right into it. Great.
So hopefully you got the handout. Everything I taught about how to get around on our website is on the first page that says how to find stuff on our website. And then if you want to just kind of see where you're at with being smart about smartphones, go through the checklist and find some ways to learn on our website.
Right. And we invite you to sign up for our free newsletters, geeksontour.com/news. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hey, and while you're here at YouTube, go ahead and click on that like and thumbs up and subscribe. To become a premium member at Geeks on Tour, just go to our website and get Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos at Amazon. Actually, this one is going to be coming off of the list soon.
Yeah, if you can hold off
until the new one comes out. And Judy says that there's some good stuff. She was one of our early editors, so
actually I think there's probably 75% of the second edition that is still good, but there's a lot that's changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and okay.
But if you just go to learngooglephotos.com, that's where I write new articles all the time. Learngooglephotos.com.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think we're ready for review questions. Oh, I'm not used to being this long.
Chris isn't used to driving the show here. Okay, become a member. That's to subscribe. The link, the questions, we talked about that. Nope. Alright, I'm trying to print from my LG phone via my Wi-Fi network. Phone is connected and says my printer. I select printing. Nothing happens. Well, we have
There is, if you search on the website, there is a video about printing, but it sounds like you kind of have all the bases covered, so that's a troubleshooting thing.
Yeah. Okay. Did you learn something? Questions for you. At geeksontour.com, there are short videos, 2 to 10 minutes, and long videos, 40 to 60 minutes. The long videos are called A, vlogcasts, B, shows, C, videos, or D, courses.
We call them shows. They're
Okay.
YouTube shows.
And we call it the Button Show. The short videos are found on which menu? Tutorials, news, or store?
Tutorials.
Using a phone and a Chrome browser, how do you search for a word on a long web page? Is it A, Control F, B, click magnifying glass, C, three-dot menu, find in page, or D, scroll?
C. Yes, the three-dot menu and find in page.
Right. True or false, you can ask anything on our Q&A page, and either Mr. or Mrs. Geek will respond, but you must be a paid premium member.
True. You must be a member to ask a question, but anybody can read the questions and answers.
The lower the numbers of our shows and videos, the A, older the content, or B, the newer the content. Lower and older.
Lower the number, older the content.
Okay. For each item, is it for members only? M. Or for public? P. Newsletters? M or P. My goodness. YouTube shows? M or P.
All this stuff. Newsletters, they're for the public. YouTube shows for the public. Tutorial videos, mostly for members. Show notes for members, and asking questions is for members.
All right. So, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our YouTube shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube show.
And the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters.
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is blogs and news.
All right. So why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
We have courses where they can ask us questions, hundreds of show me videos, and the written notes. And a lot of people just become a paid member to say thank you for everything that we do for free. And we thank you.
Right.
And to get the Backstage Pass, which will be coming up.
Right after this show. Next time, live show next week. Well,
no YouTube show next week.
No, the YouTube show, we won't be doing a YouTube show because we have a members-only special Backstage meeting with David Lieb. He's the product lead at Google for Google Photos, and Chris is a product expert.
Yeah. So I'll be interviewing him, and then our members will get to ask him questions. Now, we will be recording this and editing it and putting it up on YouTube later, but next week it's
The
just
live part will
it's
be
just a
with David.
Zoom call.
And that's exciting.
Yes, very.
So leave a comment on this YouTube video. If you have an idea, get ready for the Backstage Pass. It's an online meeting using Zoom right after this. And there's a link at geeksontour.com for members, or you may have received an email from Chris, right?
Yeah, should have.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Well, that's it for this week. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Keep pushing those buttons.
Okay.
What does this button do?
Push that button.
What does this button do?
Push that button. That's a good button. See y'all later.